An ostrich is not a domestic animal. We know where ostriches come from, I think, but we don't deal with ostriches, okay? So there's some gray area there between your wildlife species, your exotics, and then you've got the domestics, okay? And feel free to call us and ask us a question if you like, but the licensing deals with wildlife, okay? And in the state law, wildlife is defined as all wild things. Anything that swims and crawls and flies and runs or whatever. So it doesn't matter if it's a June bug all the way up to a moose, okay? Those are all considered wildlife. We don't enforce hunting license laws if you're trapping a mouse under your kitchen sink, okay? But technically, that is a wildlife animal, okay? It might be kind of a feral animal, kind of like a European rat or something. I don't know, but the point is, there's an area there where we don't get too excited about somebody doing such and such. You know, there's some people that feel that way about snakes. Oh, it's a snake. Any snake that's alive is a bad snake. And you know, there's other people that absolutely just love snakes. So again, we try to take the high road and be intelligent about it. You won't find me playing with a rattlesnake, okay? Probably won't find me playing with any snake. But you know, we protect native snakes and all kinds of critters, like I said, that are natural born Oklahoma wildlife. That's the stuff we want to try to save. You're talking to the wildlife department here. That's the stuff we want you to save. If you want to play with starlings and you want to use up all your money on field mice or whatever, that's up to you, okay? But we appreciate you helping on the native wildlife. And you know, we got folks that specialize in songbirds, and we got folks that specialize in birds of prey, and we got folks that specialize in bobcats. We got someone specializing in possums and raccoons. So we don't tell you what you will deal with. You decide what you will deal with. And if you network, you'll not only learn more about that critter, but you'll get more of them, because Shan maybe doesn't want to mess with possums. If somebody calls her about a possum and she knows you deal with possums, you're the go-to guy. So, you know, that's the way that networking thing can help. I'm bouncing all around because I don't really come with a formal program outline on this kind of a deal. Okay. All right, sure. I apologize for making you...
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we really knew what the sequence of events was.
Yeah, well, and I don't always know. When we're going to do Shan's inspection, basically what we're doing here and what you're going to look for, in my opinion, there are some game wardens out there, and the game warden in your county will do your inspection, and I know for a fact that there are game wardens that will call you on the phone and say, meet me at the Quick Trip and bring your paper. See ya. And you're going, what was that? And there are some game wardens that go a step further and they'll go to your house. And they'll go, yeah, looks like a good cage. Where's the paper? And they're gone. Okay? And then there will be some game wardens that will look at your receipts and look at your paperwork and the details of what you've done in paperwork. And then you'll have some that'll go out here and they'll walk around your aviary and they'll study your cages and they'll ask to see your feed and they'll want to know what veterinarian you're using. And Travis will tell you, if you were to ask him about me and you haven't figured it out yet, I'll talk. Okay, you say, hey, Carlos, I need somebody to talk. Oh, that's me. But when you're doing something like this, I think it's important. I don't want you to get into a criminal problem. I don't want you to get into a civil issue. Okay? If you've got a raccoon that you're saving and the neighborhood 4-year-old wanders over and gets his fingers gnawed off through your fence, okay, that's civil. Okay? And then somebody's going to come back and say, well, are you licensed to do this? Oh, you are. What's required of the licensing? Oh, inspection. Are you inspected? And you're going, well, come to think of it, I met him at a Quick Trip. You know, so it's a liability for me as well as for you, and I don't want you to run into those kind of problems. So I like to be thorough, at least the first time. And if I was meeting just with Shan, we would look at her paperwork, we'd walk out here and see what kind of birds she's got. I would admire some of her fantastic artwork in her studio, and sip a glass of tea, talk about the networking issue, talk about, you know, rehabbers in the area. You know, we'd probably spend 30 minutes to an hour and get reacquainted, talk about those things. She would ask me any questions she had about things, any problems, any issues. Okay. And I'd sign the paper and off we'd go. So I like to take a little time when I meet you the first time and be as much benefit to you as I can be. Because in the future, you'll go, well, I thought he was going to be my friend. Now he's acting like he doesn't have time for me. And, you know, not that I don't have time for you, but my wife and everybody else doesn't think I have time for anybody. And I like to just get my things done, you get your things done, and let's help each other when we can, when we need it, and ask a question anytime. And then hopefully the rehab thing, the inspection thing, will be brief and painless each year. Okay. Shan's got a couple of notebooks. Some rehabbers go to great detail. Okay, and that's okay. I encourage that. Your requirement, however, your minimum requirement is that you keep documentation of what you're doing. Now that sounds pretty broad, and it is. But as far as the game warden inspection goes, what you're doing to us means you got wildlife. Where did it come from? You don't have wildlife. What happened to it? Keep a notepad or something. A spiral notebook is plenty good. I recommend stapling some pockets to the inside of it. If somebody is giving you a receipt, okay, or some kind of an extraneous piece of paper, you've got a place to stick that stuff. Those spiral notebooks don't have to be super headachy, okay? It could be something as simple as some lines drawn like a spreadsheet, and you would have on the left-hand column the date. The next column would be the species. The next column would be where did it come from. The next line would be where'd it go. Okay, and then the next line would be maybe where you leave yourself as much space as possible, and you would say comments. Took it to Dr. Danner. You know, gave it some drops of this, that, and the other. And so you're notating anything about this critter, and I can come and look at your records. Those are your records. And I can look at that notebook, open it up, and at a glance, in the year 2009, and if you're not a real busy rehabber, you'll keep everything on one page. You know, I mean, how many blue jays and starlings and mockingbirds and whatever and little green herons are you going to deal with? Okay, you may not get more than 20 things in a season. If you're a very busy rehabber, and there are some out there, they'll have a page for possums, and they'll have a page for coons, and they'll have a page for blue jays, and so on. Okay, and so they'll keep a different notebook for each year and a different page for each critter, or, you know, have dividers, whatever. Again, it gets as involved as you want to get. And then next year, 2010, turn a page, start over again.